Hey guys, it's really good to see all of you, even though I can't actually see you, but I thought it might be fun if we all read a story together. One of my favorite things to do when I'm bored or just feeling kind of down is to read a book. And today I'm going to share with you one of my favorites. It's called Kneeknock Rise by Natalie Babbitt. A lot of you, if you've been my student in the past, you have heard this story before, but I highly encourage you to listen again because you know how amazing it is. I love this story. So I'm going to read this in increments of chapters, meaning I will post one video a day of me reading a chapter. In a way, this book isn't specifically split up into chapters, but we'll make it work. Let's get started. Kneeknock Rise by Natalie Babbitt. This book is for Alice, who spent the last days of a long and happy life serving as a model in every particular for Annabelle. Facts are the barren branches on which we hang the dear, obscuring foliage of our dreams. The Mammoth Mountains were not really mountains at all. No glaciers creased their rocky, weed-strewn slopes. No eagles screamed above their modest summits. An hour or so would bring you to the top, puffing a little perhaps, but not exhausted, and the view, once you were there, was hardly worth the climb. Nevertheless, the people who lived there were extremely proud of the mountains, for they were the only point of interest in a countryside that neither rolled nor dipped, but lay as flat as if it had been knocked unconscious. Because of this pride of the peoples, you were well advised on passing through to remember the famous and somewhat true story of an early visitor who rashly remarked that anyone who could call those molehills mountains had to be either a blind man or a fool. It was suggested to him that he was already a fool himself and in grave danger of becoming a blind man on the instant. So, we are told he wisely thought better of it, looked again, and said, "Oh, I see I was mistaken. No mere mole could have made those mounds. They must have been the work of a mammoth." The people were satisfied. The visitor escaped unharmed, and the mountains were christened. However, the Mammoth Mountains had far more to offer than pride of ownership and rest for the eye that was weary of level plains. One of the mounds was different from its brothers, rockier, taller, and decidedly more cliff-like, with steeper sides and fewer softening trees, and its crest was forever shrouded in a little cloud of mist. Here lay the heart of the mountain's charm. Here, like Eve's forbidden fruit, dwelt their mystery, for good or evil. From time to time, in the land below the cliff, strange things, in fact, did happen. A straying sheep would be found slaughtered. A pail of milk would sour. A chimney would unreasonably topple. These things were considered by some to be the work of the creature on the cliff, while others refused to believe that it ever left its misty nest. But they all had their favorite charms against it, and to all of them the cliff was the grandest, most terrible thing in the world. They trembled over it, whispered about it, and fed their hearts to bursting with gleeful terrors. It was frightful and fine, and it belonged to them. They called it Kneeknock Rise.